And round one underway, scheduled for 12. And both men look quite a bit bigger than when we saw them at the fighter meeting prior to the weigh-in yesterday. Some 17 pounds bigger each.
I've never gained that much weight. You know, after I weighed in, I would gain about 5, maybe 6.
That would be like 3 or 4 of your fights accumulated.
Exactly.
And Obara more aggressive, perhaps, than even Castillo thought that he would be here in the early going, BJ.
Yeah, he's just got a nice presence, Kenny. He comes right out to the middle of the ring and kind of demands respect and control, using that stiff left jab and getting Castillo's attention early.
Well, Castillo yesterday said, I will be aggressive. I'm going to the body. He's yet to do that at the moment.
Yeah, still early in the first round, and, you know, both fighters still not loose and, you know, not in full sweat yet, but, you know, they'll pick it up as the time goes on. But the main... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, he's talking about Obara, just saying the fact that he is not your typical fighter that Castillo thought that he would be.
Not at all, and they told us in the fighter meetings, Kenny, and you heard it, you know, we're very familiar with the Japanese style of fighting. These guys come forward but don't know how to handle it when you come back at them. And, you know, Obara's content to sit on the outside and pick with that left jab and set up his big right hand.
Obara's even talked about the possibility of a knockout. He has done it 14 of his 15 victories. Of course, again, the question is the caliber of competition. He looks strong and confident here in the early going. This only his second trip to the U.S. He was briefly in Los Angeles to train some this summer. He arrived here just a few days ago to acclimate. So far, he looks like he has.
Obara, to me, I mean, he looks like he's in control here. He's using that jab. His right hand is not too sharp, but he's taking his time. Using the ring.
See the right hand there, Ray. He kind of got off balance when he shot it.
Castillo doubles up on the left, his best punches.
Castillo's going to have opportunities to land that left hook tonight, Kenny. You see when Obara shoots that right hand, he falls off balance. The left hook of Castillo can be a very effective weapon tonight. One of the best ways to counter a right hand is with that left hook. You can roll with the punch and shoot the left hook, or you can catch it and shoot the left hook. And good left hook by Castillo.
This movement of Obara, you know, you slow that down by body shots. That's exactly what happens. It slows you down, also brings your hands down.
And Castillo trying to work the body now in the late stages here of round one. Again, it's scheduled for 12. Keita Obara in the white in his U.S. debut, coming out with a strong showing here to get things underway. As round one comes to an end. There is Walter Castillo. Said his high weight has been 154 for fighting. He feels comfortable at 140. And there in his corner, Mauro Fernandez Jr., his trainer. And Castillo, all 3 of his losses coming by way of decision, including Amir Imam, one of the tougher fighters in the division. There is Obara's corner. 28-year-old from Tokyo, 5 years as a pro. He lost his very first fight and has reeled off 15 straight. And this is Obara, the first fighter to arrive tonight 3 hours ago. And he got in there and checked out the ring. And Ray, BJ, have you guys done that in your careers? Get here that early to do this?
Yes, I've done that. You know, because there are certain spots that are like almost sinkholes. And you try to feel the way around, even the ropes, sometimes to make sure the ropes are tight enough.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the canvas. A lot of times I just like to feel how loose the ropes are, so when I get my opponent against them, I know how much space I got.
And Obara feeling right at home in the first round. We come out now for round 2.
Good first round for Obara, Kenny. He used that left jab. He controlled space and tempo, and he was able to kind of dictate the terms of the fight. But Castillo was getting close on some of those left hooks, and I look for more of those in this next round. Jake
Donovan, glad to have him with us. Unofficial scoring that first round for Obara, 10-9. Question now, Ray, will Castillo try to get to the body more as he did later in that first round?
Well, he should go even, I mean, you should start the very first round because you want to put fear in your guy's heart, your opponent's heart. You go down there.
What they told us yesterday in the fighter meetings, Ray, they said, you know, we're familiar with how these guys fight, but I think he was a little surprised with how Obara came out in that first round, a little unconventional.
Castillo feeling more comfortable himself now, landing his best blows and working hard on the body.
And Kenny, we just learned a second ago where Castillo has to be if he wants to be successful in this fight. The geography of this fight is going to be very important. When they're in close, Castillo is going to be successful.
This is the Castillo I spoke with yesterday. Going to the body, being aggressive, overly aggressive too. He has to let those hands go. Good right hand.
Good right hand. Castillo stinging Obara here in the second.
And Kenny, he's being efficient with his punches. He's not doing a lot of wasted movements. He's walking forward. He's rolling with a lot of the Obara punches and countering with very nice combinations.
And now Castillo feeling right at home himself. Two good lefts, and he has Obara backing up with a wild swing. First time we've seen Obara lose composure.
That was an uppercut by Obara. A bit wild.
And we saw those yesterday in the fighter meetings. Remember when we were watching tape, we saw some of those lead uppercuts, but later in the fights, we didn't see those as much. So what that tells me is that Obara is going back to what he used to be and what he used to know, because he's a bit frustrated in the second round.
And also, BJ, he can't get away with that with good fighters. He can't throw that shot. That lead up right uppercut is really dangerous punch. Puts you in trouble.
Talked about how wide open he was, but against some more inexperienced fighters, he pulled it off early, got better at it. We haven't seen that in a while. Look at the last 4 fights of his until just moments ago.
Good, strong second round for Castillo. And, you know, what he did, Kenny, he really attacked the body and he was more aggressive with that left hook like Ray talked about before the fight.
Final seconds, round 2, scheduled for 12. Walter Castillo in the red. Coming back strong in this round, taking charge against Japanese fighter Keita Obara.
Some good action in the last round by Castillo. You see him catching Obara with a nice right hand. Ray, we talked about the importance of the left hook, but there it was the right hand getting the job done.
Well, Castillo really got some good shots off in that round there. Let both hands go.
And it's Castillo coming out strong here, dictating the pace early in this third round. Castillo, we knew he'd been in against tougher competition. He had fought and lost a decision to Mosquera, the former champ. He had lost to Imam, one of the best in the division right now, again by decision. So we know the caliber he's fighting out. Jake giving that last round to Castillo, making it a round each. Unsure about the caliber of competition Obara had fought with his impressive 15-1 record.
Yeah, Kenny's got a very nice record, but sometimes the record doesn't tell the whole story. You know, sometimes a 15-1 guy can really fight, and sometimes they've been matched very protectively. So we're going to learn a lot about Obara in this fight.
Let's check in now with Todd Harris in the Castillo corner. Todd?
Chico, what was Walter able to do in that second round that he didn't do so well in the first round?
Well, he figured out he's always take a round to warm up. And even the team said, well, this is the round he's going to start putting it. And he has. He took over after that round and started putting a lot of pressure. And that's just his style of fighting, a lot of pressure. He looks at the guy the first round and then he figures him out. And so far, he's doing exactly what the head coach Mortals tell him to do. And the plan is working out perfect.
Thank you, Chico. Kenny.
All right, thanks, Todd. The plan is perfect so far. Castillo, quite a changed fighter. Obara trying to get back into this right now, though, Ray.
Well, Obara is trying to, but I tell you, Castillo's doing the right thing, but he needs to put the pressure on a little bit more and get inside and throw his punches. Let his hands go. That's what he wants, especially with that left hook.
Nice left hook by Obara a second ago, and the way he landed that, Kenny, he was able to get back to the jab. He used the double jab, the right hand, missed all 3 of those punches, followed with the left hook, and caught Castillo clean.
Well, it's impressive that Obara has regained his composure here and being muscled around right now by Castillo. I'm not sure he's ever felt that before. Castillo holding on a bit and getting those punches in.
A fighter like Obara, you can't let him gain confidence. He's a good fighter, but if you let him gain confidence, he's going to be trouble for you.
And nice combinations by Castillo. And a good uppercut by Castillo. And Obara comes back with his own right.
When you're able to land in a right uppercut, the left hook should be automatic. That's a good shot. Combination, uppercut, left hook.
And both guys really starting to settle down, Kenny. You see both fighters trying to, you know, really dictate their tempo and their pace on the other guy. And both fighters having good success here in this third round.
And Obara making quite the recovery after Castillo was so dominant with that second round. Good round 3 here for both fighters. Obara still throwing as the clock ticks down to end round 3.
From Houston, Texas, Jamal Hitman Charlo. Oh, down goes.
It's over. It's over.
The new junior middleweight champion, Hitman Charlo.
Don't miss these upcoming PBC events on NBC November 28th. Jamal Charlo with his first title defense on December 12th in prime time on NBC. 2 former champs, Omar Figueroa Jr., Antonio DeMarco in San Antonio. We're back with round 4. In between rounds, they were looking over the right eye of Castillo. Walter Castillo, a cut over that eye. He in the red, in the white. Keita Obara from Japan making his U.S. debut. And that last round, Jake Donovan scoring it for Castillo, giving him the edge 2-1.
Kenny Obara landed some nice left hooks in that last round. Might have caused the damage on the right eye of Castillo. But, you know, both fighters scored a lot of effective punches in the last round. Good uppercuts.
Castillo rockets that jab in.
I'm impressed with Obara being the way he's moving around the ring. He's utilizing the ring. That's what we call ring generalship. And he's throwing the right kind of punches. The uppercut has been working fabulous.
Let's check in again with Todd.
All right, thank you, Kenny. Here with Ken Masako. Ken, what is your corner seen in this fight so far, and what are you liking that Keita's doing?
He's doing good. He's relaxed right now. You know what I mean? He's always good at the counter punch. That's why he's looking at him so carefully every time. He's doing good.
Kenny, back to you.
Thanks, Todd. Team Obara arrived on October 30th. No sightseeing, just getting down to business, acclimating, getting used to things. And Obara looking very good here in this 4th round.
Well, he's frustrating his opponent, Castillo. He's really moving around the ring. Look at the angles, the type of punches he's throwing, those angles, the uppercut.
And Ray, it's really all coming off his left jab. He's able to use that and land everything else off of it. And I'm seeing a bit of a momentum shift here in this 4th round because Obara's really starting to come on.
Obara now again with the left, and he has Castillo backing up. And you wonder if Castillo, he looked so good in that second round, if he was getting a little comfortable and maybe a little surprised that Obara was able to come right back with that upper.
Well, Obara's mixing his punches up. He's doing the right thing. He's not throwing the same punches over and over again. He's going under and over, uppercuts, jabs, looping right hands.
And I like the toughness he showed in that second round because he really took some good shots and came back nicely in the 3rd and is winning the 4th. You know, sometimes with these up-and-coming prospects, you don't know. Whenever they lose that 1st round and 2nd round, you know, what do they think mentally? What goes on in their heads? And Obara's responded very nice.
What I see here, Obara's making Castillo fight his pace. Because Castillo now is slowing down a little bit. And that's the wrong thing to do. Good right hand by Castillo.
He timed Obara's jab very nicely with that shot, Ray. Caught him with that overhand right.
And coming back with a jab of his own, Obara. Seconds ticking down in round 4. Very good fight between Castillo and Obara.
In an action-packed 3rd round, we see what the punch that might have caused some of the damage on the right eye of Castillo. Nice left hook by Obara, and he's taking advantage of that punch, Ray.
Yes, Obara has a good left hook himself.
It's Castillo in the red from Nicaragua, now based in Miami. Obara in the white from Japan. First time he's ever fought out of his home country. This is a big fight for both men. It's a super lightweight eliminator. The winner of this gets in line to fight Edward Troyanovsky, who just won the title days ago. And there's a good shot by Castillo right down the pipe.
But Obara is not making it easy for Castillo to land his punches because he's giving him so many angles. He's throwing so many different types of shots.
Very competitive fight. It started out Obara surprising perhaps Castillo. Castillo storming back in the second round, and then Obara gaining his composure once again in round 3, and that's the way it's been going.
Nice double jab by Castillo a second ago. You saw Obara bouncing in and out, getting the timing for one jab. Castillo doubled up the jab and caught him with the second one. Very nice. Good technique. And like Ray mentioned earlier, you know, if I'm Castillo, I'm going to do something to take control of this fight right now. I'm going to really start being aggressive and attacking that body like I did in the second round, because that was his best round, Ray.
And the key here is also, can he continue this pace? I mean, it's a pretty fast pace. He's throwing a lot of shots. Good movement, too. A lot of movement.
Obara still looking good on the balls of his feet, dancing around and still throwing punches. And a good right by Obara.
And Ray, the way it's looking right now, I think if Castillo's waiting for Obara to tire out, that's the wrong strategy, because Obara is actually picking up the momentum, and it's Castillo's job to do something to make Obara tire out.
You see the punches landed here. Obara landing more by 20 more at the moment than Castillo, according to CompuBox.
Obara's getting his punches off first. He's throwing his combinations a lot faster, a lot cleaner than Castillo.
And that all goes to his foot movement, Ray. He's able to land the jab on the outside. His feet, he's bouncing. He's able to land multiple combinations. He's not just standing right in front of his opponent.
What I see in Obara is the sweet science of boxing. He's using the ring, using his speed, the angles of his punches.
And I like that you say the angles of the punch. He's mixing up the uppercuts, the hooks, the right hands. He's creating those different angles that are difficult for Castillo to defend, and that's why he's been so successful in these last few rounds, Rick.
No question about that, BJ.
And you mentioned the sweet science. Obara walked into the fighter meeting yesterday, immediately recognized you, Ray, as many of the fighters, almost every fighter does. But he watched a lot of film of different fighters. He has studied this game. This is a serious business to him, and he is serious tonight. Todd is standing by. We're glad that we have Barry Hunter with us. We have seen him in the corner with the Headbanger boxing team of former champ Lamont Peterson and Rasheed Warren, and we can go down the list. Adrian Broner, Anthony Peterson, and he's with Todd now.
Thank you, Kenny. It's good to have Barry with us. Barry, what have you seen so far in this fight that has impressed you from either fighter?
I think, well, I'm really impressed with Obara's movement. Ray touched on it earlier. He has beautiful ring generalship, and he has little subtle movements that seems to hold Castillo at bay. In order for Castillo to turn this fight around, he's going to have to establish a jab, stop standing on the line, stand in front of Obara too long, and he's able to counter everything Castillo throws because he's only firing single punches.
How is it that Castillo comes back and looks so strong in that second round, and then rounds 3 and 4 absolutely in the corner of Obara?
It looks as if, to me, his energy level is falling, and I think Obara having him guessing a whole lot in this fight.
All right, good to have you with us, Barry. Kenny, we'll have more from Barry in the main event. Back to you.
All right, look forward to it, gentlemen. Thank you. And there you see Walter Castillo, maybe surprised tonight by Keita Obara in the white, making his debut outside of Japan. Never fought as an amateur or a pro until tonight here in Miami area.
And you know, something interesting that Barry said, you know, there's a big change from the second to the third and the fourth round with Obara. And Obara's corner simply made an adjustment. You know, he's standing on the outside boxing better, and they saw that and made that adjustment, and, you know, the rounds are going well now.
Obara getting the last round unofficially from Jake Donovan. Very close fight here in round 6.
Obara is really picking his shots so cleanly. I mean, he's wherever he looks, the punch goes there. He places shots.
Stop.
That's a very smart fighter.
Stop. Break. Step back.
See the face of Castillo starting to show the effects of all the punches Obara's landed. He's got to make sure he can't get complacent here, Ray. He's got to move forward, move his head like he was in that second round, and slide those body shots in. He looks like he's getting discouraged right now.
He's a little confused, I think a little frustrated, a little, I guess, angry with himself, because the hand speed now and the movement of Obara has been
movement. That side to side is done just enough to freeze Castillo and allow Obara to get off first.
Obara's going to the body. That's where Castillo should be going. Oh, that's where he told me he was going, to the body.
Obara, did you think he would be leading in the number of power punches landed coming into this fight, if I said so halfway through?
And Obara is picking the tempo up. He's picking the pace up with more shots, with more combinations.
Obara pushes off with the left. Fighting with a lot of confidence now. And a good right by Obara, and the crowd gets behind it.
Nice return left hook by Castillo. He just barely missed, but you see him trying to time that right hand of Obara. Obara's getting there first, though, guys. There's no question about it. And Castillo is going to have to make an adjustment. Move that head side to side and dig that left hook into the body. Good combination.
And Castillo charging right back.
And Castillo is capable of doing this and putting his punches together, but I think he took him for granted. It seemed like he took Obara for granted.
Well, they said yesterday in the fighter meetings, Ray, they know the Japanese style very well. I don't think anybody expected this version of Obara to come out and box in the center ring like this.
Obara tried to time a punch, a right hand, a counter right hand, but he's really dictating the tempo of this fight. He's taking control. He's taking control, which you should never do with a fighter. Or let a fighter do to you, I should say.
Nothing is typical about Obara. As we mentioned earlier, he became a boxer because a friend took him to a reality show audition. He wasn't into any sports. He said he liked boxing, started studying it, and he's doing it well right here. Another good round for Obara. Final seconds of round 6 is scheduled for 12.
You are in an IBF eliminator bout. Today, the 3 knockdown rule is not in effect. Understand that, okay? The 3 knockdown rule is not in effect. If you happen to go down, you think it was because of low blow, headbutt, and the referee initiates a count. That means that from the angle the referee was looking at the bout, it looked like a legal punch. That's it, gentlemen. You guys saw the start of the night. People pay to see you. You guys are going to have a good, clean fight, and we'll have a good night. Any questions? Well, best of luck. We'll see you in the ring.
The instructions backstage, main event, Bizier and Lawson coming up right now. What an entertaining fight we have going into round 7. It is scheduled for 12 super lightweights, an eliminator of their own. It's Walter Castillo in the red and Keita Obara in the white with the gold trim. A bit of a surprise. The first time he has ever fought out of his home country of Japan, and he's been fighting well here against Castillo, who we did know more about.
You know, Keita, what I see here is the fact that Obara is really breaking him down, Castillo down, mentally, psychologically. I mean, he's really taking control. And it's just going to continue unless Castillo hurts him or knocks him down.
Let's check in with Jake Donovan now, scoring this unofficially for us. Jake.
I have Keita Obara ahead 58-56. It could easily be 59-55. Obara had a good first round. I think he took it for granted. Castillo got inside in the second round. He's made the adjustments. It's been his fight ever since.
And you can see how Obara, and BJ mentioned that earlier, appears to be getting stronger as this fight is going on.
And that's the use of his left jab, Kenny. That left jab is able to dictate the pace and the tempo of the fight. He's able to land the combinations. But, you know, we know both guys are resilient. You see Castillo coming out a little harder in the 7th round. Both fighters actually lost their pro debut, and here they are in a battle here for a title eliminator. So both guys are really tough.
And good shots there by Castillo, the best we've seen in a long time from him in this fight.
You have to appreciate the movement, the foot movement of Obara. Look at the uppercuts. I mean, whichever way he is, or position he is, he throws a punch. I mean, every now and then he gets off balance, but for the most part, he is superb.
And you see a lot of blood on the lips of Castillo. And the late Joe Souza told me a long time ago, the great cut man Joe Souza, the most dangerous place, BJ, for a cut is on the inside of the mouth, because when you swallow your own blood, it can really affect the performance of a fighter.
He has some blood on the mouth. There's swelling on that right eye. There was a brief cut that they had fixed. He has had cuts over his right eye in a couple of other fights, so they've taken care of that. But the blood now coming out of the mouth of Castillo. And a good combination by Obara. He is not slowed down.
Not at all.
Castillo sunk in a nice body shot a second ago, guys. He's just going to have to do more, though, because Obara's just simply outworking him right now.
Trying again for the body, just missing with the uppercut, Obara.
And again, the only thing that's going to get Castillo back in this fight is a big punch or knockdown.
And you can see how Castillo struggles a little bit. That style of Obara, it's really herky-jerky. He's bouncing on the outside. Lead right hands, lead hooks, lead uppercuts. I mean, it's unconventional, Ray.
Very much so, BJ.
You mentioned Obara, BJ, losing his pro debut. He told us at the fighter meeting yesterday, I got cocky in that. I let the fight get away from me. Well, he's certainly fighting with a lot of confidence tonight. What a fight he and Castillo putting on.
taking a look at some of the highlights in this fight, round 2. Castillo really was getting off, able to land that nice right hand and really bully Obara through that second round. Obara really coming back in the third round with combination punching and really unorthodox things to confuse Castillo. Caught him with some nice hard uppercuts and continued to take momentum. More Obara in round 4. Good shots from him and really just taking control down the stretch, Ray. Right hands, uppercuts, and able to land everything pretty much at will based off that left jab and that herky-jerky style.
And we're back live with round 8, scheduled for 12. Gentlemen, I thought that round 3 was the crucial round here because Castillo came back, and that's what most people thought. And then Obara popped right back in the third, and he's made it a fight ever since.
The seventh round was a big round because Obara really hurt Castillo just before the bell rang with a good right hand.
Jake has scored the last 4 for Obara. As we talked about him getting stronger, he is still bouncing around. Castillo, little blood still there around the lips here in round 8.
And Castillo came out in the beginning of this 8th round, guys. He realizes he's down on the scorecards now. He was really trying to apply himself more and put the pressure on Obara, but it was really ineffective.
You can never assume anything anytime, no matter what the profession is. But again, we go back to Castillo telling us at the fighter meeting yesterday, he and his camp, oh, that was a good right by Obara. And Obara is not the typical fighter they were expecting from Japan, is the whole point of this.
What's happening now, Obara now is really setting this man up. He's using that jab, and he throws that big right hand and the uppercut. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this is it.
You know, I don't think Castillo's ready to go down so easy, Ray, but I think combination punching and conditioning has been the key because when you get in these late rounds, 8, 9, and 10, you don't have the conditioning to shoot 3 and 4 punches. Obara still does, and they're landing.
But BJ, the end of the 7th round, he was hurt like he is now.
He's definitely been taking some good punches. I just think the temperament of Castillo, it's going to take something, you know, very big to get him out of here. But, you know, Obara's definitely taking control and landing the bigger shots and hurting Castillo.
And look what he's doing. I mean, again, he is setting them up with the jab. Watch the jab. Watch how he uses that jab. It's a thing of beauty.
And we talked about it in the pregame fighter meeting. We said, listen, the jab is the key to tonight because Castillo comes inside and he's got to control the aggressive Castillo. He's done exactly that with the left jab, Ray.
He's taking his time.
And look how this fight has changed. Whenever the fighter who's aggressive, Castillo, is on his bike and moving backwards, you know there's a problem in the corner.
And walking right down is Obara, and Obara now dictating the pace here once again. He has most of this fight, and especially here in this 8th round.
Castillo now is backing away. That's not his style.
I don't think they expected anything they've seen tonight from Obara. Final seconds of round 8. Keita Obara in the white, still looking strong.
And we take a look at one of the reasons why Obara has been so effective in this fight, combination punching, using the jab to set up that straight right hand, even into the late rounds, Ray.
I'm so impressed, I tell you, with Obara. I mean, the way he used the ring, the way he uses his hand speed, he's thinking. I mean, every punch is for a reason.
And here in the 9th round, Castillo, who has won 19 times by way of knockout, but has never recorded a knockout past the 6th round. Obara getting that last round unofficially from Jake Donovan as well. It's been all Obara in the late stages of this fight. You wonder, does Castillo have the power to finish him off here? He seems to be behind on points.
Kenny, just now, Obara threw 2 shots to the body, to the midsection, because he knows that it wears the opponent down. It brings the opponent's hands down, and he's doing just that.
Let's check in with Todd.
Once again with Chico Rivera in the corner of Walter Castillo. What does Moro want Walter to do more of to get back to what the fighter he was in round 2?
He needs to go put back the pressure, let take control of the fight. He let this guy pick up a lot of confidence, and that threw him off a little bit. He needs to get back into his fight, not the fighter's fight. Get into his fight and put a lot of pressure. That's his style. He's backing up. That's not his style, backing up. He needs to put a lot of pressure into his fight. Just like what he's doing right now, that's his fight right there.
All right, thank you, Chico. Kenny?
Thanks, Todd. And that confidence growing with Obara. but now Castillo trying to turn things around here. Fighting with urgency here in this round 9.
This is exactly what it's going to take for Castillo to get back into this fight. Turn this into a street fight.
The best Castillo's looked since the second round.
Very aggressive.
And it shows how important it is, even though Obara's had all the momentum over the last 3 or 4 rounds. You have to stay focused 100%. One little lapse in concentration can allow Castillo to get back in the fight.
Obara has been this far before, 3 times past the 8th round, and he's had knockouts in both the 9th and the 12th round. So we talk about his stamina and his power still late in this fight. He has shown it in previous fights.
Look at the eyes of Obara. I mean, he's looking at everything. He's checking out everything. To have good eyes in boxing is so important. See everything.
And he weathers that brief storm from Castillo here in round 9.
And Castillo, Kenny, just has got to let his hands go more, like right there. You see when Castillo, he is such a proficient puncher. He's very efficient. He doesn't like to waste anything. When he does punch, he connects, so he's just got to let his hands go.
And Obara, meanwhile, comes back with the right.
I like to see that left hook by Obara, throwing a little bit more. Good punch.
Final seconds of round 9. And Obara standing strong. Welterweight's main event, Kevin Bizier has never been knocked down. He's facing a knockout specialist in Frederick Lawson. That's the main event coming up next.
Looking at some of the action in the last round, Castillo was able to get inside and land some of those effective left hooks and punish Obara against the ropes there, Ray. Had a nice little momentum shift there in that last round. And then at the end of the round, Obara coming back. More good, clean punching from him. Was it enough to win the round?
Castillo just needs to keep fighting. I mean, he needs to turn this thing into a fight, make it ugly, because trying to outbox Obara, it's not going to happen.
Round 10, scheduled for 12. Keita Obara, first time he has fought outside of his home country, Japan, and the Tokyo native has been very impressive here in Miami.
Nice jab to the body by Castillo a second ago. I think the key, Kenny, is he's got to keep his head off the center. He can't just walk into a straight line on those straight punches by Obara, because his face is really starting to get busted up.
A better round for Castillo in 9. Jake Donovan giving him that round unofficially, and Castillo now applying the pressure.
Nice combination from Castillo.
That was a great combination. In fact, he has to continue that. Just put pressure on his man.
More good combinations from Castillo, and I think he really feels a sense of urgency, Ray. You know, that blood, I saw him split out 3 different times, a mouthful of blood in the corner over there, and he realized this fight's down to the final 3 rounds. He's got to make a move.
There is indeed urgency there with Castillo. He just needs to keep it up. But it's hard against a fighter who makes you miss often.
And Castillo again, and Obara comes back with a right.
And now at this point of the round, Kenny, it's about halfway through the round, and Castillo's won the first part of the round. He's got to make sure that he doesn't fall into those lapses of concentration and let Obara steal the round by punishing him at the end of this last minute and a half.
Guys, you got to understand, this is calculated with Obara. I mean, he's making his man miss, he's countering his man, he's moving, he's giving him angles, he's doing everything right.
And he has been through most of this fight. As you talked about earlier, Ray, he has studied the sweet science, and it's showing here.
That's so true. He just got to be very careful and not get too careless here. He's so relaxed. Look at him in the ring. He's so relaxed in the ring.
And again, firing out that jab. That's been effective for him throughout this fight. And Obara with the right. Coming over with that right once again. He seems to land that about every time Castillo tries to make a run.
These kind of punches, it's just an accumulation of punches. It would take you down. But Castillo has a great chin and a great heart, a big heart.
And it's happened again, guys. The last minute and a half, he's kind of giving the round away. He's letting Obara completely steal the round here with a lot of clean punches. But once again, it comes down to conditioning. It looks like such a difference in the level of stamina in both fighters right now. Obara's bouncing, Castillo's taking punishment.
And plus, Castillo, his mouth is open, which may result in that cut lip.
Final seconds, round 10. Obara hanging in. Castillo starting out strong. Walter Castillo fighting with urgency to stay in this. And we take a look at the corner of Keita Obara. First time he has ever fought out of his home country, and he has put on a show here in Miami. The Tokyo native, the 28-year-old, been very impressive, BJ.
Yeah, he has. He's done a lot of good work, and conditioning, Kenny, has been one of the main key factors. Able to shoot combinations into the 10th round here. A lot of hand speed and just a lot of composure to go out there and dominate a very tough Castillo.
And there you see again, blood and swelling on the right eye of Walter Castillo. He got that cut earlier in this fight. Castillo in new territory. He has never been this far into a fight, into the 11th round. Obara has, and has even recorded a knockout in the 12th round in his career.
And Kenny, it's interesting, Castillo is supposed to be a very good test for Obara. You know, he's going to come in, we're going to learn a lot about Obara today. Well, Obara doesn't have a mark on his face, and a lot of reason for that is his left jab and combination punching.
Castillo has gotten strong late in this fight, though. He's picked up the last 2 rounds unofficially, according to Jake Donovan. Timeout is called.
Come here. Come here.
They want to take a look at the eye of Castillo.
He's blinking a lot, and that's in the eyelid.
See the ringside doctor checking Castillo. Dr. Mark Gordon taking a look at Castillo. Castillo telling us twice he has been cut over his right eye in previous fights. He was talking about that yesterday at the fighter meet.
I'm going to go a little longer. I don't want to go much further.
Here. 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 Time.
I couldn't hear what the doctor said, Kenny, but it was interesting how he kept pulling that cut kind of apart. That kind of makes it bleed a little more. Did you notice that, Ray?
That was Dr. Frank Santor taking a look at him as we get back to action.
Frank Santor, the referee?
The referee,
I beat him.
Taking a look.
I beat him in my, probably my 4th or 5th fight, I think it was.
Well, Frank, you know, you had fought him before, and Frank wanted to take a look at it, and Dr. Gordon took a look at him, and he's going on right now. But to be cut over the eye like that, what does that mean, guys?
You know, the thing about it, if you want to say, what does it take to be a champion, watch this fight. This is the fight. I mean, these guys showing heart, determination, skills.
Very tough to swallow your own blood, Kenny, for the last 8 rounds and still be focused on combinations in the last round, but that's exactly what Castillo's doing. And add another element in, that cut over that right eye that he's blinking. He's got a lot of obstacles right now, but just got to shoot combinations and really get off these last 2 rounds.
And again, good right there by Castillo, but coming right back Obara. Both men still slugging away here in the 11th round.
And it's just amazing the heart Castillo has. He's really taken a lot of punishment, Kenny. And, you know, this is the type of guy where if you're a boss, you want these kind of workers working for you, guys who come to work every single day and put their heart out there, heart and soul into their job, because Castillo really came to fight tonight, even though the fight's not going his way.
No question about that. Castillo's really put 100% out and more. But he was too much for Obara. Obara was too much for him, I should say.
Obara's conditioning, very impressive. He told us he brought his own food from Tokyo when he arrived here on October 30th. The food, his diet basically consisting of rice, getting ready for this fight.
He's trying to break his man down, breaking Castillo down.
And I think we're at the point now, Ray, where Castillo's broken down, and you know, Obara's just kind of doing whatever he wants with him now and showing that, you know, he is a top-level fighter. You know, not a world champion by any means yet, but he's got a lot of potential, Ray.
No question about that. I agree. Great performance.
Final seconds of this 11th round. Blood still coming off that right eye of Castillo. Well, ref Frank Santor want to take another look at that soon. There you see the Castillo corner.
Este round define la pelea.
Ref Santor was concerned about the cut and the bleeding into the eye that was causing the blinking from what we heard, Ray.
Well, that's the concern when the blood slides, goes into the eye.
And meanwhile, you see barely a mark on Keita Obara here in his U.S. debut. Let's take a look at that last round, BJ, and once again, the bloody eye of Castillo.
Yeah, some nice punches there from Obara in this sequence coming up. Landed some good shots that, the face of Castillo is already damaged, but when you land punches like that late in the fight, when your defense isn't as tight, the effects seem to seem worse, and the face of Castillo is just really suffering worse for wear.
It does, BJ.
They're really taking a good look at him over there in that corner, Ray.
Doc, his ears bleed too. Why don't you look at his ear? Now stay here. Stay here. Doc. Now, I want you to look at his ear. His ears bleed.
Steve Smoger, Hall of Fame referee, is with us. Steve, what are they looking at right now?
They noticed blood in the left ear, causing Frank some concern, Frank Santor. Dr. Gordon said because of the nature of the fight, he's going to allow it to go on.
And you think Santor's been fair in the way he has been on top of it the last 2 rounds?
Absolutely, giving Walter every opportunity.
And now we go into this, the 12th and final round. Walter Castillo in the red, in the white, Keita Obara. Obara from Tokyo, first time he's ever fought outside of Japan, and he has fought well tonight here in Miami. Now coming into this, Castillo, it would appear to be, he is behind on Jake Donovan's unofficial card. Can he win this any other way but a knockout, gentlemen?
He needs a knockout, without question. Castillo, I don't think he expected that much competition from Obara. Because what Obara has done during this fight, he's done everything. From boxing to counter-punching to being aggressive.
100%, Ray. 100%. I think he expected Obara to come at him and just walk and be an inside fight, and not to stand on the outside and box and use his jab intelligently like he has, and it's been a huge surprise for Team Castillo.
Castillo has never been into the 12th round of a fight before. Obara has. Castillo has never recorded a knockout past the 6th round. So everything that he hasn't done before, it looks like he's going to have to do to win this. Let's check in with Todd.
And Kenny, the instructions for Keita Obara were simple on that break. They just asked him to do one thing: finish him.
And it appears, Todd, that he is on his way to doing that. Obara still very spry, moving aggressively, and now Castillo with some good combinations late, but is there power still left?
I love the temperament of both guys, Kenny. You see ebb and flow fight. Obara land good shots. Castillo, damaged as he is, still trying to get those combinations in there, and just a lot of great stuff.
How about that shot to the body by Obara? I mean, he's picking his shots. He's really placing his shots so well in the last and final round. Well, incredible condition, too.
He's showing that he wants to win, Ray, and he's showing that he wants to take that title shot after this fight, and that he's ready to do so. And talent-wise, I'm not exactly sure if he matches up with the best junior welters in the world, but conditioning and stamina and heart, no question about it.
Edward Troyanovsky won the super lightweight title days ago. This is an eliminator to get a shot at that. And Obara is a man that appears to be in the running. He has certainly had unofficially on the card. It looks like he has dominated this fight in almost every round and is still strong here in the 12th.
One thing about Obara, he's made his mark here.
And Castillo. And coming back is Obara. Keita Obara. He became a boxer because a friend had him audition for a reality show in Japan. He had never participated in athletics. And he closes this fight strong in his U.S. debut against the veteran Walter Castillo. And it is an appreciative crowd as these two men battle the distance. It's in the hands of the judges now. We'll be back with their verdict when we return to Miami.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone 12 full rounds of action, we'll go to your judges' scorecards. At ringside, your first judge, Michael Ancona, scores the fight 115 to 113. He sees it for Obara. While judges John Rupert and Mark Streisand both score the fight 114 to 114. The fight is ruled a majority draw.
The look on Keita Obara's face and the reaction from the crowd said it all. A majority draw between Castillo and Obara.